So there you go. Those who missed this live session can see it afterwards. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Producers Club, Producers Mindset. I'm so stoked to be here with Aember Childress. Aember,
Hi,
good to see you.
you as well.
I was blown away. You put that PR post that we do before the session on your social media, and the amount of love that you got over there, it's incredible.
Yeah, it was a lot. It
What
was
was
really cool.
what was that? Family, friends, clients?
I think just a collaboration of all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that people have seen that I never gave up and I didn't stop working. And I think everybody's just always happy to see a win, which is encouraging.
Yes. Yeah. So let's talk about that, okay? For those who don't know you, um, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. Then we're gonna kind of evolve into the real estate world.
So I grew up in Ventura. My dad was in the Navy, ended up in LA, kind of, bounced around, figured out where I wanted to be. I ended up taking care of somebody that had cancer. I was his assistant. He was a screenwriter. I did some SAG acting and this and that back in the day. I ended up taking care of a screenwriter after, it it morphed from being assistant to caregiver because he didn't have anybody. And so
Mhm.
even though I didn't know what I was doing, that's what I started doing. And I learned a lot from that. And being there, I had to obviously get to know the neighbors and all of this stuff, being there all the time. And somebody was developing the house next door. So I got to know the developer. And at one point, he was like, "You would be really good at real estate. You should think about that." And so kind of planted the seed and, moved on because I was too busy. I was living two lives at that point, my own and someone else's. So there was no time. Um, and eventually I did take that thought and turned it into a reality. And that's kind of how I ventured into real estate during COVID.
Right. So that was in 2021.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah, I got my license. Because COVID had kind of calmed down at that point. The man I was taking care of passed away
Hmm.
right before COVID started, like in January of 2020. And so obviously that year, none of us knew what we were doing. We were kind of just doing whatever. And then 2021 rolls around. I'm like, okay, let's figure this out. I got to do something now. And I got my license. I actually had to drive all the way to San Jose because there was nowhere to take
I
your
remember
license
that.
test. Yeah.
Wow. 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 You see, that's the dedication. How amazing it is when I call them messengers, right? Or angels, when it's like one guy that did the property next door
Yeah.
years back, told you, hey, you should do this and that turns into a
Yeah.
career.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those seeds that got planted that bloomed. I didn't I've always, since I was a little girl, been obsessed with beautiful houses. So it makes sense. And then I went to college for fashion, not that, has anything to do with it, but like style and, that sort of thing. So it was it's fitting that this is where I ended up for sure. But I started at Keller Williams Beverly Hills and I did the mentorship program and I was like, I'm going to hit the ground running. I'm going to do so great. Which I was off to a good start and then I got pregnant and then it kind of changed everything. And it slowed everything down significantly, but I kept going. I just kept going and kind of went with every twist and turn and, you know, it
Yeah.
worked out.
Yeah. And your little one, how old is he right now?
He's 3.
Three, yeah.
Yeah.
And you it seems like whoever is following you on Instagram, you guys should. Seems like you're very, very um consistent, like the life work balance, as we call it, or this harmony. Uh
Yeah.
you're doing a pretty awesome job at it.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's why I kind of keep my social media the way that I do because I feel like that people appreciate authenticity these days. We've got a lot of just social media isn't real, so I try to keep mine as realistic as possible.
Right.
I give a little bit of a balance there. So everybody kind of gets to see home life and work and what that looks like in my world. And I think it works out well.
Do you think once you're we're focusing back on the career after having a child, you think it helped you to be better at time managing your time?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I get that question a lot. Like, how do you do it all? Because I mean, I do. I don't have help. I don't have a ton of family here. So I mean, you guys can all see I take my son with me everywhere. That boy has been doing real estate his whole life. And so um it's kind of I've had to learn to juggle, being mom, wife. I take care of my house, I cook, I clean, I make things from scratch. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm very on top of my entire life. So I've had to learn. There's no other choice but to learn how to balance it all.
Yeah, yeah. It's a pattern. I see people who are busy mostly when they have kids that they have to maximize the available time, the free time in between, or in your specific case, you even, if the kid is with you, it doesn't matter. You're on task.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, luckily, because I have been taking him his whole life, he's good at it, and obviously he has his moments, but he understands and he'll just play. I'll bring him to open houses and he just plays, or he's actually developed this incredible vocabulary. And I swear it's just from being around real estate his entire life.
Wow.
So he likes to talk to people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a whole different conversation. How,
Yeah,
what kind of leaders, we able to groom, right?
for sure.
So tell us a little bit about your career path in real estate, right? Like what is your focus? How do you go after business? You're very talented. Again, I know you because we're interacting regularly on the business aspect. You're very talented at connecting and relating to people in really high level that they trust you with
Yeah.
everything.
So I'm not going to say what everybody likes to hear, which is, the cold calling and the outreach and the this and that. And I get that. But that is not how I've grown my business. For me, it's been very word of mouth, very referral based, which is what I've always liked. Because personally, I'm just not that great at cold calling. I'll go door knock all day, that's fine. I'm great with people in person. I interact with people really well. Um, but I think because I actually genuinely care. My biggest thing is I'm a helper. I like to help people, so to me, I'm chasing a bit of a different aspect of this job. It's not so much like how much I can get, the volume, the this, the that. It's like, who can I help? Who can I genuinely like? And I like to make a connection with my clients. So I don't just have a client that's just a client to me. We always form a relationship. Most of them we still talk after the fact. So that's one thing that's super important to me.
Yeah, and it's pretty impressive, like in relatively a short, such a short period of time, right? It's 5 years, give or take,
Right.
but again, you had a break in between. You said a key a sentence over here or phrase where you said, I want to connect with people, and I think that's what they differentiate people who've been doing this for a long time, people who are trying to figure out the path, is when you're able to relate to people, people trust you and just want to work with you.
Right. Right. And that's a big thing because we live in a huge city. We all know how big Los Angeles is. But if you're from here, you understand it's actually kind of like a small town in that we all, in one way or another, know each other. You know somebody that knows somebody else, and your reputation, your name is a big deal. So when you're doing a job like this and you have that part of you that wants to connect with people and wants to do a really good job, people feel that and then they want to tell their friends like I have somebody really great, and it does pay off.
Yeah, and again, you're doing such a good job um, making sure the world know about it. Clearly, like in your case, through social media, not just, but
Yeah.
that's how we able to reconnect.
Right.
And then you came over to luxury, and it was such a blessing to have you join our brand as well. What are some of the difficulties that you're right challenges, let's just say, the day in day out in the business?
Honestly, finding time. you know. It's hard again being a mom, especially of a child so young. My husband obviously works, so not having a big support system around me, that can be difficult. There's a lot of agents, so sometimes you feel like you're a small fish in a big sea, and you feel like you're not. You're just climbing this impossible ladder. Um, but it's just, I don't know. It's You have to be positive and just keep going. That's one thing that I've told a couple of newer agents that I've kind of helped along the way is like, you're gonna want to quit all the time. You're gonna want to keep, that it's gonna be a reoccurring thing, but you just have to keep going.
And it's such a brilliant, it's so simple yet brilliant advice, because that's the voice in our head, right?
Right.
And it's so true. And yeah, you did refer some great talent to us. Thank you for that. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's a reflection of who you are as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you, when you handle, with people, business, during the transaction after, do you ask for referrals?
um so I don't know that I necessarily ask for them. Maybe sometimes I'll throw it out there, but it's not something that I'm like, okay, now give me referrals. I kind of expect that they will. I keep in touch. I obviously will like throw it out there. If you have somebody that needs help, let me know. If it comes up, but it's not something that I necessarily push. Again, kind of like the way that I do my social media, I don't necessarily like throw it out there like, hey, I'm a realtor, use me. But I never stop posting about real estate. So everybody that, these people that I have on my Instagram and, Facebook or whatever, even if it's just a couple of people, that's still two people that from social media I've gotten business from. And I have just from people seeing that this is obviously what I do. And I'm posting about it consistently I've got this or I've got this going on, or, just little snippets of real estate so that I'm always top of mind when they do need somebody.
Right, right. Yeah. That again, it's the personal connection rather than anything else.
Yeah.
How do you go after business? You mentioned door knocking. What else do you do?
Um, Honestly, it's a lot of networking, a lot of networking. Just really random turns of events. Like these really big multi-million dollar off-market deals that I have right now. It was from networking with a local developer in my area, and it wasn't even about real estate to begin with. We just kind of connected, and I helped them with something they needed help with. And then it just evolved along the way. Now they need me to sell, upwards of $15 million worth of real estate for them. So
Yeah.
um, it's a lot of networking is my thing.
I think when the people who are like-minded, if they see something, let's say in this specific case, those individuals saw something in you that they appreciated, right? The dedication, right?
Yeah,
Without any kind of demand or some expectations, then people buy into it.
right.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your what's Amber's plans for the rest of this year?
Oh man, I have so many things that I have in this pipeline that I've been working on. And with so personal note, within this development that I'm trying to sell that I've been working on here in Shadow Hills, there's a small little snippet of it that my clients have said that they would let me purchase. And so I'm working on that. So whatever I need to do personally to get myself that little snippet of property, I want that for my son. So that's my goal. It's just really to get these deals done because I'm blessed to have so much work right now. That's that's the goal.
Yeah, you're doing so great, and thank you for sharing. That was my next question. Like, what you wake up in the morning. What drives you? What inspires you, really?
It's different now because I've got my son, so you look at him and you're like, I have to build you something. Because if you have kids, you understand that that is your entire world. It's unexplainable until you're a parent, but that's your whole world, that's your whole thought process every day you know, is them. You wake up and you go to bed, it's them. And then when you think about your future, it's more than just, oh, I'd love to go on this vacation, or let's go do that, or the things that didn't matter before. Now it's, wow, I have to build him something. I have to have something for him so that he's okay.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he already knows the business. So
Right.
he
He should be good at this. I've already got him a career going.
right, right. We'll get him licensed very
Right.
soon as well. Um, do you how do you because then you know how it works where you have a deal, you have a transaction, it can go smooth, can get complicated, can get whatever it is, but you still have to live life. How do you
Right.
live through those challenges? How do you find the balance? Do you set a hard, hey, after X, this time I don't talk to people, or how do you juggle all of this?
So no, I'm always available. If my clients need something, I will answer them. Obviously, if I'm asleep, if it's midnight, my phone's going to be on silent. But I don't have a cutoff time because sometimes these are big transactions and it's stressful. So sometimes your clients are going to need you when you would prefer to not talk to them. But that's your job, and or the way that I look at it anyway. It's my job, and I also, like I said before, there's gonna be times where you feel like you want to quit all the time, even when you're doing good. Like there's challenges that'll come up within a transaction and you want to crawl in a hole and hide. And you can't because there's no one else to do it but you. There's no one to fall back on. It's your business. So you have to learn to really take a breath and not let that feeling that gets in your stomach overtake you, because that's easy. It's easy to get really anxious in this business, but you have to just kind of like be able to take a breath and like be the calm one, because you're the one that has to keep everything in control in the transaction. Your clients are going to get so emotional. Everybody around you is going to get so emotional. It's important that you're able to stay centered.
Again, spot on. I love that mindset as well, and I can appreciate that. Um, there's a question in the chat.
I just
Um,
that.
yeah, asking about probate and trust.
So, I had a client or I have a client. She's had multiple people pass away and leave her property, and she was in a very complicated trust probate situation. And there was a class that I was able to take on CAR to do the trust and probate certification. So I went ahead and did that specifically for her, and it just evolved where you learn that it's not that complicated. When you take the class, it's actually pretty easy to understand, and you'll realize how useful it is after you do it. I would suggest taking the CAR class, or there's another one, I forget, I think it's MTI, or somebody that emails me all the time that they have a trust and probate certification as well. But it's good to just know in general, even if you're not specializing it. Everybody has a trust now.
Yeah, thank you. And again, that's another great tip to everybody that look at what CAR and NAR has to offer, especially as some of those classes are free, or at like maybe it's like $200-300
Yeah.
certification, and you can carry that as a designation, but also the basic knowledge of what to deal with.
Right. And sometimes I think that there's even a list. Like if you do there's one that you can specialize in 65 and up, I believe, right? The where you specialize in those. And they actually put you on a list for people to know that you specialize in that area.
Yeah, which is also like a great demographic right now, baby boomers, right?
Hmm.
Um, I forgot how it's called, like senior something specialist.
Yeah, I forget the exact word. That's why I'm just saying 65 and up because I can't remember.
Yeah, but thanks for asking on the chat. But you see, you just have an opportunity, but instead of
Mhm.
saying I don't know what to do, you just jump in, right into it and let me
Right.
educate myself and then know how to handle that.
Yeah, and she was super happy that because she was a referral. She wasn't a friend. We became like almost best friends through working together. But she was really impressed that I took the class just to know how to handle, what she had going on. And so now I'm selling her dad's house. He passed away last year. I'm selling her that house for her soon, as soon as they get it cleaned out. So it
So, so,
helps.
so wait, so she approached you and you said, let me see what I can learn about it. And hey, I'm going to take this class just to educate myself so I can help you.
Basically, yeah. It
Incredible.
was a friend, my husband's friend referred her to me. They all work in the studios. They all do TV and movies. And so they had referred her to me. And it was so complicated and she was so stressed out. She was so stressed out. I was like, okay, I've got to do whatever I can to learn how to help this girl, because we're gonna have there's a lot going on and I have to know what I'm doing.
You didn't have the fear. By the way, that's a specific question about this case, but it's a general question about many other situations because sometimes someone's approaching us. Doing residential real estate, there's so many different types of scenarios, right? You have single family, you got a duplex, you got a condo, you got a townhome, you got this, you got that. When she approached you didn't have the fear to, or maybe you felt embarrassed to tell her like, I don't really know, and then have to tell her I have to go learn about it so I can help you. Most
Yeah,
people
well,
won't do it.
so I don't ever like to tell clients that I don't know. I always say I'll figure it out or let me find out for you. And so I said, let me find out for you. And it wasn't a long class. It didn't take that long. And she was cleaning out the house anyway. So there was some time there for me to get it all figured out. But yeah,
Yeah. I just, want people to understand that in our line of work, we're gonna face a lot of uncertainty, right? It
yeah.
happens every single day. So you just have to figure out, I have to handle that. I have
Right.
to,
You got to figure it out. You don't have a choice. Like I said, there's nobody else unless you just give up that lead. There's nobody else to do your job for you.
yeah, yeah. Um, what you have some big deals right now going on, right?
Yeah.
Um, how challenging is that to um, prospect properties that are not necessarily on the MLS or out for the public yet?
Yeah, so I actually had an agent ask me on Instagram last night. She was like, "How are you marketing these off markets?" And it's not easy. It's definitely the hardest part of having a listing. If you're not able to put it on the market because it's all on you. Because not only it's all you can't obviously we can't use the address in the marketing, so we can't. It's very hard. And it's so I took a lot of advice from you. I've been reaching out to 1031 exchange people, calling agents from listings that are similar in the areas that I have them, and just seeing if they have buyers. I'm networking a lot, just anybody I can think of, developers. I'm Googling, who people to reach out to, like developments and, investors and this and that. I need to get on TAN is what I need to do. I've heard that that's a good one to put the off markets on, but I don't have that access yet.
Yeah. You also, when it comes to um, being diverse in properties, like you don't have just one specific area. You sold, right? Buyers,
Right.
sellers in so many different areas. Is that
Yeah.
because you follow the people versus the locations?
Yeah. I don't really have a specific demographic, right? Because like I said, I'm not cold calling, I'm not doing the traditional outreach. It's very much like referral based. And I'm from Southern California, so I know a lot of people. I'm not the quietest person. I make friends and I've got a lot of people that I know over the years. So that's I've used that to my advantage. I think my 3 year old's trying to escape. Um um but yeah, sorry, lost my train of thought completely.
So I'll ask a different question, okay? Um, if someone would wanna reach out to you for advice, maybe partner up with you like you're doing with a few other agents out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
strategic partnership. Why should they do that?
I mean, I'm just easy to work with and I know what I'm doing, I guess. I I'm helpful. I'm very helpful. So like with Tracy, for example, she's an excellent cold caller. Tracy is amazing cold calling, but aside from that, she's got some struggles, right? So she has been getting the leads, and then I'm doing all the back end stuff. So the paperwork, the, open houses, the everything. And but I'm teaching her. I'm teaching her. So I'm good with, like, if you need to learn what you're doing, that's kind of where I can come in and be helpful.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a key point. Like in entry level agents, we have the PC programs, mentor programs, etc. But I say in any level, if you're struggling and need someone really great to out there in our community to help you out to convert those leads to sign contract to close deal,
Right.
people like you, Amber, that
I'm
can.
yeah, and I'm likable. People, clients, like you said, they trust me. And I have that about me. I feel like because I'm very empathetic and I can feel people's energy really strong, I'm really good at connecting with people. And I'm nice. I'm really nice.
What's the best way to reach you? If anyone want to connect with you
Text
directly.
me. Yeah, text me. I check my email obviously every day. Social media, whatever. I'm always reachable.
What's the best number?
818-849-0130.
Awesome. And whoever's on the Zoom right now, whoever's that's Amber's number. Reach out, connect. That's part of what we like to do to build a community of people that are like-minded, here to support one another, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy to be back at Keller Williams. I thought I needed a smaller brokerage when I got pregnant. I was like, this is too much. I'm gonna have too much going on. I need to be at a smaller boutique brokerage where I don't have so much pressure. And then I realized that was a mistake. I missed KW and the environment a lot. I really, really love this brokerage.
Yeah. Well, it's totally mutual. Last advice, Amber, for everybody who's watching you right now and later.
Um, just keep going. That's my biggest thing. It's a business that, again, it'll make you want to quit all the time. Even when you're doing great, you're gonna get overwhelmed. But keep going. Don't give up.
I love that. Awesome message, Aember Childress. I appreciate you. Good to have you part of the community
Thank
and keep doing amazing work and inspire so many people. Thank you for that.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Amber.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.